Go ahead and start standing. Nice high knees. Don't forget to set your watches if you're using them. Nice high knees here. All right. Start the timer. A few more here. And then go ahead and come in some same arm, same leg, side body reaches, really elongating that body. Keep it going. Log into my phone so I can see you all at every angle. Knee one more on each side. And then coming to a standing position, a hip opener over to a side lunge. Chin and chest stays lifted. Really getting your knee up and over. Give me one more on each side, regardless of where you are. And then we're gonna come down to a low, wide squat, feet wide, your hips, toes turned out, arms out by your side. Sink your hips low. Reach down, tapping the opposite inside ankle. Core is nice and engaged. And then staying low in your squat, chest is lifted, arms forward in a windmill motion. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Go ahead and reverse that direction. Open up your shoulders. And then slightly hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your solar plexus as you lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Come on down to a runner's lunge, left leg forward, pressing into that left knee, but not letting it open up your hip. And then draw your hips back as you straighten that front left leg, maybe point, flex the toes. Go ahead and quickly switch sides. Big step forward with your right foot. Ground your right foot into the ground, open up your left hip. And then draw the hips back. Maybe point, flex the toes. Roll your shoulder blades back, roll them forward. Set yourself up with your equipment. Get everything going here. All right, so let me scoot this closer. So again, if you're just joining us, no worries whatsoever. We are using a ball. I'm gonna grab my small one and bigger one. My small one's a little deflated, but it'll still do, as well as some set of lightweight. So first up, go ahead and grab your ball, place it between your thighs, feet are hip width apart and parallel. Grab one weight in each hand, grounding through your feet. From here, palms are facing up. We have both heels raised and lower with a bicep curl. Hips stay nice and low. So from your hips to the tip of your head, it does not look like you're moving, just your heels are raising and low. You're squeezing that ball between your thighs. Core is engaged, shoulders are stacked over your hips, palms are facing up, bicep curls with a double heel raise and lower. Core is nice and engaged here. Keeping it going, moving with control. Core is engaged. Focus on your breath. Palms face up, bicep curl with a double heel raise and lower. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then we're gonna flip the palms in towards one another. And we have an alternating heel raise and lower. So with that ball between your thighs with a hammer curl. So palms are facing in, chest stays lifted, so your hips are low. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Keeping it going. Raise and lower, alternating which heel is raised, the opposite heel is lowered, palms are facing in, hammer curl with an alternating heel raise and lower. Keeping it going. Moving here with control. Maybe increasing your weight here. You got this. Ball stays between your thighs. Keeping it going. A few more here, just like this. And then we're going to challenge our balance, challenge our calf by keeping both of our heels raised. Give me one more on each side. Go ahead and fix that ball if you need to. Go ahead and draw both of your heels nice and high. Sink your hips low so your knees are bent. Shoulders remain stacked over your hips. Elbows in toward your body, knuckles up towards the ceiling, alternating shoulder press. Palms are facing inward. Overhead raise, alternating as you keep the heels high. Keep the hips low. Shoulders remain stacked over your hips. Core is nice and engaged. Keeping it going. You got this. Alternating raise and lower. Controlled movement. Slow it down as much as you need to, thinking the slower the better. Almost there. We're going to grab that ball between our palms next. So guys, we're going to need one more on each side. All right, go ahead and set the weights down for our next set. From here, grab the ball between your palms. Elbows are wide. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Soft bend in your knees. From here, we're just stepping that right leg back as we squeeze the ball. So elbows are wide, chest is lifted, just the right leg steps back and forward, keeping a deep bend in your standing left knee. Chest stays lifted, just the right leg moves. Extend back and bring it back parallel with your left foot. Keeping it going, still moving, squeezing that ball. Just the right leg moves here. Elbows stay wide, palms are at your chest. Keeping it going. Almost there. Give me a few more, wherever you're at. All right, last one. Hold that leg back. From here, we're gonna come into a curtsy as we bring the ball overhead. So palms are still pressing into that ball. That ball is close in towards your chest. Your right leg steps back and then into the curtsy as you raise the ball overhead. So you're bending even deeper into that left front knee. That ball stays close in towards your body. Ball at heart center, ball at your chest. Elbows are wide as your right leg is back. As you draw that right leg into a curtsy, diagonal behind your left, your arms reach up overhead. Straighten the arms. Chest is lifted. Keeping it going. Almost there. Working that inner and outer thigh. Bonus top of the thigh work here on your left leg. Working that quad. You got this. Give me one more wherever you're at. Come back to standing from here. Holding on to head, still with the ball. Extend your right leg out to the side. We're going to raise and lower that right leg as high as you can or as low as you'd like as you simultaneously squeeze the ball overhead. So your biceps are close in towards your ear, rounding through the sole of your left foot. Chest stays lifted. Avoid lean over to the left side. Arms stay overhead. Keeping it going. Beautiful work. You got this. Right side leg raised and lowered. Beautiful. With that ball, a block, a pillow, whatever you got this. Tiny raise and lower. Keeping it going. Almost there. All right, go ahead and release that right foot down. Shake it out. From here, stow the ball between your palms. We're gonna bring the arms forward. So your arms are extended forward. Soft bend the knees. Step that left leg back as you squeeze the ball between your palms. So this time we're working into that left leg, keeping everything nice and symmetrical. Ball, pillow, block, imaginary object stays between your palms. Arms are extended out in front. Maybe it's obscuring your view directly in front of you. Palms are facing inward. Pressing in, you're gonna feel that tight squeeze on the corners of your chest. Keeping it going. Almost there. Give me a few more wherever you're at. Grounding through the base of your right foot. Give me one more. Hold that left leg back. From here, curtsy as the arms extend up. Back that left leg taps behind you. So your arms are away from your body the entire time. that pillow, block, or ball stays between your palms. Curtsy lunge as you draw the arms up overhead. Ball comes down, arms remain straight as you simultaneously step the left leg back. Keep it going. Almost there. A few more just like this. Moving with control. I'm very careful now not to drop my water. You got this. Curtsy lunge. You're holding that deep bend and you're standing right knee. You're bending it slightly more as you come into that curtsy. Arms overhead. Give me one more wherever you're at. Come back to standing. Keep those arms overhead. Extend your left leg out to the side. We have that left leg raised and lower as we simultaneously squeeze that ball. Keep your arms straight, straighter than before. Squeeze the palms in. Think bicep towards your ears. So your arms are directly overhead. That right leg lifts and lowers. Tiny movements here. Moving with control. You got it. Tiny lift, tiny lower. Still going. We're going to come down onto the floor next. So enjoy the standing series. We've got a lot of floor work today. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Give me a few more rows. Yeah, get those arms straighter. Arms pulled back towards your ears. All right, give me one more. Go ahead and come on down to the floor. We're going to that ball off to the side for now. Keep it close by. Go ahead and grab those weights again. So coming from a kneeling stance, extend your right leg out to the side, gluing your big toe to your heel into the floor. From here, we're going to bring our arms up overhead. Grab both weights in your hands. We're going to reach the arms up and over for a halo wrap. And we're just alternating, drawing the hands towards the outside knee of each leg. So with your right side, you're really pulling your body over to the right. For the left knee, you're really pulling your body down. Keep it going. Still going. Still moving. Weights are together between your palms. You can also use that block or pillow for a lighter weight if you would like. All right, finish up wherever you're at. Draw your elbows out to the side. Elbows are wide, 90-degree bend. Pulling the knees together. We're going to raise the arms up and then pull it back down. Think about squeezing your thighs together, even though they're not touching. Your right leg remains out to the side. Your left knee is down. You can tuck your left toes or leave the top shoelace portion of your left toes into the earth. Chest is lifted. Shoulders remain stacked over your hips the entire time. Palms are away from your body. Arms raised up. Maybe your big thumbs tap. Maybe they just come close. I almost call them your big toes, your big thumbs, your thumbs. Keep it going. Reaching up, extending wide arms, shoulder press. Give me one more. Go ahead and set that left weight down. We're going to bring our left hand down. Left arm is directly underneath our left shoulder. From here, we're going to keep the weight in our right hand. We're going to send our right arm up towards the ceiling. We're going to draw our arm overhead and then catch that arm. So you're drawing that elbow down to 90. So think about drawing your elbow to your right hip. Right elbow to right hip. We're just working that right shoulder. Palms are facing outward. Gaze remains directly in front of you. You can also look down towards your left hand. Whatever feels good for you. Core is engaged. Your right top hip is stacked directly over your bottom left. Just the top right arm. Extend bicep to ear. And then drawing your elbow down as you bend the elbow. Keeping it going. Give me one more wherever you're at. And then draw that right arm up towards the ceiling. From here, reach that right arm up and then under and through the left side of your body. Right arm extends up Right arm reaches under and through. A nice shoulder stretch. A nice back release as you twist under and through. Imagine that someone is behind you and they're handing you something. Keeping it going. Reaching further. Reaching under into the left side body. So your left hand is grounded into the floor. Your left knee relaxed. The right inside of your right foot is grounded into the floor. Keep it going. Just the right arm moves. Right arm under and through, up and over. You got this. Give me one more wherever you're at. Go ahead and keep that right arm up, but bring it over towards your ear. So straight right arm, bicep to ear. From here, we're gonna go ahead and lift that right leg as we bring the right fingertips towards our right toes. So maybe slightly, ever so slightly, lean into that left wrist. Still keeping your left shoulder stacked directly over your left wrist. Just the right leg raised and lowered. Eyeing in that arm. You can also just do the leg by keeping that right hand on your hip. If you want to add some upper body, you can also draw the arm and leg along in opposite directions and then extend them together. Reaching, pulling. Keeping it going. Gaze can be forward or down toward your left fingertip. Give me one more. Go ahead and hold that right leg lifted. You can bring your right hand to your hip, flexing the toes, draw tiny circles, little circles. It does not matter which direction. We're gonna switch halfway. We have halfway, which is just 30 seconds, clockwise or counterclockwise, and then we'll switch halfway. Holding that right leg up, toes flexed. Keeping it going, tiny circles. Core is engaged. All right, go ahead and reverse that direction. Tiny circles here. Keeping it going. You got this. A few more. We're going to come back to kneeling. Tiny little circles, tiny movements. Yes, you can. Core is engaged. Right hip stacks directly over your left. Give me one more full circle and then release your right foot down. Come back to kneeling. Grab that second weight. Now we have the left side. Extend your left leg long, grounding through the inside of your left big toe to the inside of your left ankle, your left heel. Grab both weights in your hands. Reach onto the outside of your right knee. Arms up and over, coming down to your left knee. Halo wrap in between. Core is engaged. Beautiful work. Slow and controlled. We're not going for speed on this one. Slow it down as much as you need to. The slower you go, the more you're going to feel that burn. Don't rush through anything. As you draw the arms up overhead, keep the core nice and engaged. Keeping it going. Almost there. Finish up wherever you're at. This time, palms are facing down, elbows are bent at 90. So you're making that little goal post with your arms. We're gonna press forward and then pull it in. Still with the left leg extended long. Your right knee is pressed down into the earth. Your right knee is stacked directly under your right hip. Shoulders are relaxed. Avoid scrunching your shoulders up towards your ears. Relax your forehead. Maybe smile through it. Palms are facing down. Arms press forward and then elbows pull back. Keeping your arms, your elbows, everything in line. Trying to keep them shoulder height. If it seems too easy and your arms lift higher, try to go heavier with your weight. Keeping it going. Give me a few more here. And we're gonna bring our right wrist down underneath our right shoulder. Give me one more. All right, go ahead and release that right weight down to the side. Go ahead and place your right hand down. Feel free to adjust yourself as much as you need to. Your right wrist is directly under your right shoulder. From here, We're gonna go ahead and draw that left arm up overhead. We're gonna reach our left bicep to our left ear and then cactus our arm, drawing your left elbow down towards your left hip. Maybe you think you can touch, working into that shoulder, working in more to the corners of your chest. Keeping it going, left bicep to left ear, palm is facing away from your body, and then drawing your left elbow down towards your left hip. Keeping it going. Few more here, just like this. Full extension, drawing the left arm straight overhead, and then drawing your elbow down towards your hip as you bend into that elbow. Give me one more wherever you're at. Bring your left hand up towards the ceiling, palm is still facing away from your body. Reach your left arm under and through the right side of your body. Nice, checking over your back cracks just like mine did. Feels amazing. Slow and controlled. Do not push it too far, so twisting as far as you can go. Think about trying to reach for something behind you. Keeping it going, slow movement. Your right wrist stays stacked directly underneath your right shoulder. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling, under and through the right side of your body. That little nook between your right knee and your right wrist. Keeping it going. We're gonna add some movement into that top left leg here in just a few minutes. Keeping it going. Give me one more wherever you're at. Go ahead and draw that left arm up, left bicep to left ear, palms are facing away. Your left toe stays on the floor first. And then as you lift the left leg, draw the fingertips down towards your toes. Reach for your toes. Reach for your ankles, your shin, your knee, your thigh, whatever you can. Core remains engaged. Most important thing is that you're moving with your breath. Slow and controlled. Your left hip stays stacked directly on top of your right. You can also always just move the leg if it's too distracting to do both the leg and the arm. Of course, add the arm in whenever you're ready. Arm and leg extend long in opposite directions and then drawing them together. Keeping it going. Give me a few more just like this, and we're gonna hold that left leg lifted. Yes, you knew it was coming. Hold that left leg lifted. You can just place your left hand on your hip, flex your left toe, sit that left leg straighter. Tiny circles. Forwards or backwards, it does not matter which direction you start with. Gaze can be forward. You can gaze down towards your right fingertips. Core is engaged. Keeping it going. Tiny circles here. Little movements. Slow, controlled. Almost there. We're gonna come down, have a seat next, so you got this. Tiny movements, reverse that direction. Keeping it going. You are more than halfway through this move. Still going. Tiny circles, think smaller, just a dime shape. Give me one more. Release it on down. From here, we're gonna come to a 90-90. So we're gonna come to our left elbow down, grab your ball. You can also grab a weight if you'd like. Come down to your left elbow. So your left knee is bent out in front. It's gonna pop so we get the full 60 seconds of this move as we set it up. Left forearm down. Your left knee is out in front of your hip. Your right top hip can be extended out straight, or you can bend that knee. Place the weight or the ball behind your knee so your knee is out from your hip. Your top or your bottom, yeah, my top and bottom confused. Your bottom left knee is bent out in front. From here, we're just gonna raise and lower that top leg. So we have a single leg clamshell, but we have that bottom leg removed. So this way, you're focusing entirely on that right side. You're not able to push off from that left side. That left side is just relaxing, like you're relaxing at the beach. You can also come from a more upright position Just remember that if you're coming from more of an upright position on your wrist, you're going to have a limited range of motion from your hip. Totally fine. You can also bring your left forearm down, boxing out your top right arm. Just that right leg raises and lowers. Keeping your top right heel close in towards your glute. Trying to keep your right knee directly out from your right hip. Go ahead and hold that leg lifted as high as you can. We're going to slide it back and then back in line. So maybe it's a tiny movement. Maybe you can't even tell when you look at your top right leg that it's moving, but you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your outer right hip. You're going to feel it in your glute. Keeping it going, pressing back. You're not pressing your foot back. You're pressing your entire knee back. So your heel simultaneously is going to press back, but you want to press with your knee, not with your foot. That way your entire leg is moving back and then drawing it forward. Keeping it going, keeping your top right foot in line with your knee. So maybe it's lower, that's totally fine. Maybe it's higher, whatever works for you. Your core is engaged. Hold it back here. We have tiny little lifts. I know this burns. You're really going to feel it in your outer right hip. Keeping it going. Tiny lift. If you find a slight pinch in your outer left hip as you're laying on it when you do these lifts, try to relax your bottom left foot and focus on the lift of your top leg. You're going to release that tension from your outer left hip from laying down. You can also prop yourself up. Again, if you feel that pinch, it's due to tensing up your side lane. Keeping it going. Tiny lift. Still going. Still moving. Tiny pulses here. All right, hold that right leg lifted. Flex the foot. We're gonna slide that leg forward and then back in line. So we were sliding it backwards before. Now we're sliding it up. We're getting more into that core work, getting more into that hip mobility. So you're sliding that right knee in line with your hip and then drawing it back forward. Keeping it going, keeping that top right leg elevated from your bottom left, allowing that movement. Imagining that you're sliding it along the table. Your top right foot is flexed. You're going to feel that nice stretch in your hamstrings as you draw that knee forward, draw it closer to feel that stretch even deeper. Keeping it going, a few more here, and then we're going to switch sides. Give me one more full range of motion, top knee towards your chest, and then back to hip width. Go ahead and come on up to seated. Extend your right leg, maybe point, flex, circle out your heel, and let's come into our right side. So 90-90. So your bottom right hip this time is out in front. You're gonna bend your top left knee and place that ball or that weight behind it. From here, go ahead and draw your forearm down, and we're lifting that leg so your leg is directly out from your knee. You just place your hand on your hip if you like. We're gonna tap down and lift up. Keeping it going. Let's start our timer. I'm gonna make sure we got the full 60 seconds, full workout here. Avoid pressing into that right leg. Remember, that right leg already did the work. Now it's time for the left side. Relax your right toes. Just the left leg is moving. Left knee taps down or comes close to the floor and then lifts back up. Your top left hip is stacked directly over your bottom right. You can also come from more of an upright position by placing your right wrist on the floor. Just remember, keep in mind, your range of motion will be limited, so don't be discouraged if you find that you're not able to lift your leg as high if you're on that wrist versus being down on your forearm. Core is engaged. Give me one more wherever you're at. Hold the left leg lifted. We're gonna press back and then draw it in line. So think about, there is a wall here out in front of your top left hip, in front of your thigh, and you're not letting that top left knee pass that. Keeping it going. Controlled movement, whether you are on your wrist or down on your right forearm, holding that top knee lifted, core is engaged. Your top heel is in line with your top knee. You can also lower that left leg if you'd like. You can keep it in line with your hip, whatever feels good for you. Keeping it going, press back and release. Not allowing that knee to come further than your hip. So think about stopping it, even if it just feels like you're pressing, but you're not actually moving. Totally fine. Last one, hold that leg back. Tiny lift here, little lift. You're gonna feel that pinch in your outer left seat pocket. If you feel it in your right, just relax your toes, maybe shake them out a little bit, and then relax. Come back to pulsing. Keeping it going, tiny lift. Almost there. Grab water at any time if you need it. Holding that left knee back, tiny pull. Still going. Still moving. Give me one more. I know it burns. All right, bring that leg back in line with your hip. Woo. Last one, I promise. Draw that left knee towards your chest and then back out in line from your hip. Keeping it going. Keeping it going. Left knee up towards your chest and then press it back. This is it, I promise. We're gonna get to lay on our back. We're still gonna keep onto that ball, maybe a block or a pillow, whatever you're using. Got some fun core work coming up. We will be laying on our back. Give me one more wherever you're at. Whew. All right, grab that ball. Release it from your right leg. Extend your right leg. Point, flex your toes. Take it out. All right, go ahead and roll onto your back. We have our ball. Place the ball on top of your right leg. Your right leg extended long. Place it on top of your right ankle. And then place your left foot on top. So your Achilles of your left foot is pressed into the ball. From here, go ahead and roll back onto your back. We're gonna raise that left leg, point both of your toes, roll the ball up your shin, and then back down. So your core is engaged. You're holding that right leg still, even straighter. It's hovering the floor. If you feel any pressure in your lower back, you can raise the legs up towards the ceiling. So your legs are staggered. Your left leg remains on top of your right. Your right leg is completely still. Whether it's low to the hover, at the diagonal, up to the ceiling. Keeping it going. Almost there. Keeping it going. Rolling that ball up the shin with the left foot and then extend it back. Hold the ball underneath your left Achilles and above your right ankle. We're going to raise and lower, going to the depth that works for you. So maybe going low hurts your lower back, or if you feel any discomfort, don't go so low. You can also lay all the way down, bringing your palms next to your hips, palms are facing down. Same thing here. If you're all the way laying back, if your neck is on the floor, your lower back is to remain pressed into the floor. Keeping it going. Almost there. Moving with control. Left leg stays stacked over the right. All right, hold at your lowest diagonal. From here, we're gonna alternate right over left, left over right. Try not to drop that ball. Again, you can also lay on your back, bring your legs up to the ceiling. You can also bring them out to any diagonal or to a low hover. It's like your legs are a steering wheel. You're drawing the left over the right, right over the left, and you're keeping that ball in between your legs. If you don't have a ball or an object that can roll from side to side, just pretend. Lower abs are engaged. Keeping it going, left over right, right over left, whether you're laying down with your neck all the way on the floor or you're propped up onto your forearm. Give me one more on each side. When you get there, hold that left leg long to a hover. Maybe readjust if you need to. Place the ball underneath your right Achilles and on top of your left ankle. So your right foot is stacked directly over the left. Roll the right foot up the shin with the ball or pretend, and then back out. You can hold that left leg long to a low hover. You can hold it out to a diagonal. You can also bring it up towards the ceiling. You can lay flat in either of those positions. Your left leg is straighter. Both of your toes are pointed. Your right leg extends long and straight and then bends. As you draw the ball up your shin towards your kneecap, keeping it going. Give me one more wherever you're at. Hold both legs straight. Right leg on top, lower and raise. Keeping it going. You can also place your hands under your bum if you are laying on your back. Going as low as you can without your lower back lifting up if you're laying down. You can also do this from lean back on your forearm. Keeping it going. This is challenging. Challenge yourself. Still going. Still moving. Yes, you can. Legs straighter, toes pointed more, core is engaged. Keeping it going. Almost there. All right, go ahead and release down. Lay all the way onto your back if you haven't done so already. Grab the ball from your ankles, place it behind your right knee. Ground the sole of your left foot into the ground. From here, we have hip lift with a right knee raised. So right toes tap, and then right knee comes up towards your chest. Think about trying to tap your right shoulder with your right knee as your hips lift. The entire sole of your left foot is grounded into the floor. Core is engaged. Squeeze your glutes. Engage your core as you lift your hips up, simultaneously drawing your right knee up towards your right shoulder. Keeping it going. Core is engaged. Almost there. Give me one more wherever you're at. Release your hips down. Grab the ball from your right knee. Place it underneath your left. And then bending both of your knees, grounding through the sole of your right foot. Your left heel is close in towards your bum. From here, same thing on the left side. Lift your hips as you simultaneously draw your left knee up towards your left shoulder. Maybe it can tap if you're super flexible. moving in that direction regardless. Lifting your hips up as you simultaneously draw your left knee up towards your left shoulder. Your core is engaged. Squeeze your glutes. Hips lift even higher, grounding through the sole of your right foot. Palms are facing down beside you. Keeping it going. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. You're so close. Finishing so strong. You got this. Yes, you can. Remembering why you showed up today. Remembering what do you want to get out of this class? What do you want to get out of your workout? Giving it your all. Give me one more. And then release the hips down. Grab that ball. Place it between your thighs. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Grounding through the soles of your feet. Hips raised and lower. Just a glute bridge. Just your hips are moving. Keeping your shoulders grounded into the floor so you're not doing a full bridge or a wheel. Just lifting your hips and then lowering your hips. Keeping it going. Squeeze your glutes even more. Hold your hips lifted, squeezing your glutes, and then squeeze your thighs together, squeezing that ball. Tiny movements. We're squeezing our glutes. We're working our glutes. Engage your core. Working your total ab muscles. Working the inner and outer thighs by squeezing that ball. Keeping it going. Tiny squeezes here. Give me one more full inhale. One more full exhale. Release it down. Grab that ball. Place it off to the side. Draw your knees into your chest. Maybe roll from side to side. And then drawing your legs up towards the ceiling. Fingertips reach for your toes. Shoulders stay pressed into the ground. Maybe point, flex your hands and your toes. Maybe circle out your wrists and your ankles, reversing the direction. And then come back to a neutral position. Bend your knees, grabbing a hold of the sole of your feet, maybe your shins, maybe the back side of your thighs for happy baby. You can add any movements that feel good for you, maybe side to side. Maybe extending one leg and keeping the other leg, the sole of your foot into the extended thigh. And then of course, switching, keeping everything symmetrical. You can extend both legs wide for a wide V stretch. Wherever you're at. Thank you, Pascal. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock and roll yourself a few times along your spine. As many times as you need to. And however many you need to come up to a seated position before coming up to a standing position. Feet are wide in your hips. Toes are turned out. Reach your right arm across your body. Avoid grabbing at your wrist or your elbow. Open and switch. Open and switch. Draw your right hand behind your head. Chin, chest is lifted. Open and switch. Nice big inhale. Give me one more for good luck. Awesome work. Thank you so very much today. Again, that was Barre. My name's Amanda. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, BB. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you so much. It is indeed a bar sculpt. Woo.
Well, bar strength. I think is what I changed the name to. But yes, same concept. We'll be doing the exact same stuff, so don't worry about the name change.
The hips are screaming.
That's a good thing. Make sure you stretch and foam roll everything out.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.